Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal de International. We'll begin with our top stories. The publisher delegate of the Post newspaper, Yerima Kini Som, has decried the one-month sanction of the National Communication Council, but underlines that the paper has always respected state institutions and will fully respect the verdicts of the National Communication Council. And there are growing insecurity or security concerns as the streets of DOUALA are virtually void of public lights. The absence of public lighting, even on some major boulevard, is contributing a factor of night assaults and a robbery. And Cameroon's prolific goalkeeper Andrew Nana has yet again been shortlisted for another award. The Manchester United keeper has been nominated for the 2023 FIFA Best Men's Goalkeeper Awards as a result of his outstanding qualities. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more. Boya, chief town of the southwest region of Cameroon, has yet again registered or witnessed an unprecedented high level of cruelty. The tension that broke out this September 15, 2023, precisely at mile 14, has left 2 people dead. They were reportedly shot dead by armed men after being caught in the midst of raining bullets. According to sources, they were traveling from Boya to DOUALA in their vehicle when the worst happened. It should be noted the tension come up following a recently imposed 2-week lockdown in the English-speaking regions of the country by our separatist fighters. A 39-year-old woman has been discovered dead in Mabanda, a neighborhood in the DOUALA municipality. It is not yet clear who killed the lady, but inhabitants say she was not mentally stable. Investigations have, however, been opened to determine the real cause of her death. More on the story with our reporter Gladys Ambu Diba.
The remains of Julien Kongo, 39 years old, was discovered at 6 a.m. September 13, 2023, in a pool of blood near her home in Mambanda, Block 6, situated in Bonaberi, DOUALA. The discovery was made by the quarter head, who immediately alerted elements of the gendarmerie post.
Me, I'm the chief de block 39 for Mambanda.
This morning while I was sleeping, someone knocked at my door to inform me that I have lost a member in the neighborhood. I hurriedly went there and discovered truly that she is dead. I had to call authorities. We are really saddened that we have lost one of us.
On site, a knife was found close to her body with large cuts visible on her neck and chest. Traces of blood were also visible in the bedroom and the living room. The day before, according to witnesses, the victim dumped her 2-year-old child in a trash can in the Granga neighborhood, still in Bonaberi. Once her in-laws were informed, they immediately reached the site and saved the child. She was arrested and taken with her child to the Fit Police District. When the police noted Julie's blatant imbalance, they reportedly asked the in-laws to take her to the hospital and check her situation.
I know he's seen several years behind.
I know this lady for a long time. She is mentally unstable, always walking around and talking alone. But sometimes she looks normal. Yesterday when I saw her in the evening at the junction, she was putting on just her underwears and trying to put on her clothes at the junction.
When she returned home, according to relatives, she undressed and started running as though she had lost her mind. She was caught by the quarterhead and some neighbors who took her home. Her companion arrived DOUALA when she had already passed on, and the forensic doctor has therefore collected elements which will contribute to providing the result of an autopsy. Her remains are currently lying at the Bonasama Hospital mortuary. An investigation has been opened. The deceased, Julin Kongo, was mother of 2.
From the Mabanda neighborhood in DOUALA, we take you to Kumbo in the northwest region of Cameroon, where a detainee at the gendarmerie company in Kumbo in the northwest region is reported to have this Friday afternoon shot and killed some gendarme officers on duty. The young man reportedly asked to ease himself, but suddenly sprang a surprise, seizing a gun from the gendarmes on duty, killing some instantly before making away with some of the arms and ammunition belonging to the National Gendarmerie. We'll come back to that in our subsequent editions of newscasts. A young man of 25 years old that has been carrying himself as a police authority with multiple functions has been arrested in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, after many dubious activities. He was unmasked during one of his numerous operations after a series of complaints from the victims. More on the story with our reporter, Haisencha.
He presented himself to his victims, both on phone and physically, as a police superintendent, Secretary General at the General Delegation for National Security, or better still, heads of different police stations, extorting money from them, promising promotion for some and recruitment for others. The courageous 25 years old even used his multiple fake profiles to get individuals out of different police cells for payment. But unfortunately for him, the head of the Mendong police unit was smarter during their first encounter.
He entered in my office saying that he's working with our main boss in the police. Straight I asked for him, he has a paper who is proving that he's a policeman, a commissioner. He told me that he's coming from the last promotion. Until now, they didn't give them police identity card.
Before his arrest, many had fallen prey to his dubious activities.
If you are policemen who mainly leading an operation outside and catch one bandit, he used to come like that, most in my zone. He used to come and present himself and say that he's interested by the bandit, and now outside now he can look how to manage to take money from the guy.
Asked why he had to indulge into such a dangerous business, the suspect has this to say.
Par erreur, par ignorance en fait.
And presenting him to the public this September 15, the head of the Central Police Station number 3 of the town of Yaoundé called on the population to work closely with the forces of law and order to reduce the rising crime wave.
Each time they have a problem, the police is the best place to carry their problem through, because when the problem comes there, we'll take all our time to make sure that the truth comes out. So I would like that the population should always come with their complaints without fear of threat. They should come to the police will do the rest.
The young man with multiple complaint files against him will face justice to answer for his crimes.
There are growing security concerns as the streets of DOUALA are virtually void of public lights. The absence of public lighting, even on some major boulevards, are a contributing factor of night assaults and robbery. Our reporter William Fru made a tour to some major parts in the city of DOUALA. His story.
For some time now, inhabitants in major neighborhoods in the city of DOUALA have been victims of robbery and all forms of assault. One of such neighborhoods with very poor public lighting is the Ndokpasi market.
À partir de 20h déjà, plus précisément.
As from 8 p.m., most ladies who come this way have their handbags seized from them. And as you can see, it is dark everywhere. It is due to the lack of street lights.
C'est noir partout, il n'y a pas de lampadaire ici là.
The absence of streetlights exposes most business activities operating in the locality.
It's really bad, too bad. We are unable to make ends meet as we do business in darkness with thieves all around us. It is really bad. Take a look at this place yourself, and we can't stay home. If we do, what are we going to eat?
Never has a day gone by without unpleasant stories of people who have been attacked in dark areas of the town.
Si vous avez
If you have noticed, in markets and junctions, there is always this problem of streetlights. Even at Marché Central, Kululung, just like here at the Ndogbasi market, and I don't know why. So the government should look into this. That is the least. It should be noted, the absence of streetlights is further compounded by the absence of security agents around.
And complaints are never end as people now cohabit with dirt. Beyond the sanitary problems linked to it, it has now become a factor slowing down our business. A student journalist on internship, Aisha Tawo, met some vendors in the city of DOUALA. Her story.
The protracted presence of overflowing trash cans on the streets of DOUALA and in markets have a serious toll on commercial activities. Though it has become normal way of life, most people say they are already used to the presence of huge dumps of refuse in marketplaces, though it affects their business as many customers have run away.
Many of my clients of a certain caliber, of a certain timber and caliber, cannot come here because of the bad odors, because of the flies that this dirt is producing. And that makes me to have less sales than usual.
It is the same situation with these ladies who sell cooked food in Mabanda neighborhood.
It is for our front marketplace. They not be able to chop from a marketplace because of the dirty. It is smell. Now almost 1 year this dirty for here.
I am not at ease here and also disturbed because my customers just eat around. Before, it was even on both sides, so it's not really easy. Others manage the situation by putting on face masks to avoid inhaling the stench. I put on face mask and drink unsweetened milk from time to time to protect myself. With the rainy season still on, the situation is worse as roads, gutters, markets and junctions are flooded with dirt.
Parents are said to have registered their children at government bilingual high school Nilong or Brazzaville have questioned a 2,000 francs CFA tax as frais d'autorisation, inscription or registration a fee before embarking on any other registration procedures. Parents have described the so-called authorization to register as additional expenses. The school authorities have equally opened up to journalists.
Je savais qu'avec le bulletin, je peux aller l'inscrire facilement au lycée.
A troubled parent expressing her indignation to what she describes as exorbitant charges of 2,000 francs CFA, all extortion from parents in the name of registration fee. We are at Government Bilingual High School Nilong, Brazzaville in DOUALA. Your parents say they are imposed obliged to pay 2,000 francs CFA, taxed by the school as frais d'autorisation d'inscription before embarking on any other registration procedures.
Mais j'étais surprise qu'on demande
I was surprised when they asked me to pay 2,000 francs CFA for a registration form before I begin any registration for my child. It was quite disturbing. And another document called a student file. My child is an old student. Parents have described the so-called authorization inscription or authorization to register as additional expenses, noting that this excludes the high PTA levy, textbooks and other expenses linked to school resumption since the start of the school year.
Les années passées, je n'ai pas payé ça.
Mon enfant a pu rentrer en classe
de 6e là-bas. Il est allé en 5e. Maintenant, il passe en 4e. Je n'ai jamais payé ces soi-disant frais de 2000 là. Je sais que je paye l'APE et je paye les 7500 francs de frais exigibles. Donc moi, en tant que parent,
most parents are wondering why so 2,000 francs CFA authorization to register was introduced this year, an idea that has never been part of registration in the past.
Charge aux parents. Déjà les cahiers ça coûte cher, les livres ça coûte cher.
For more clarity, we met with the administration of the school.
The 2,000 francs they give before they collect the authorization, it's for medical booklet and medical checkup. 1,000 francs, and then the second 1,000 francs is for pictures for their ID cards, students' files, and for examinations.
The disturbing situation comes at a time when the government has increased fee for the baccalaureate examination from 9,500 francs to 12,500 francs CFA. Parents have described all this as exorbitant and the extra charges as suicidal. The divisional officer of the DOUALA 3 municipality has proceeded yesterday, September 14, to the amicable settlement of land issues at the Japoma neighborhood in Cameroon's economic city, DOUALA. This comes as a result of the many land problems in the area, and the individuals are concerned to return from the meeting being happy with the verdict. More with our reporter, William Fro.
Like a family counselor, the divisional officer of the DOUALA 3 subdivision exchanges with the occupants of the land in the Japoma neighborhood. In the background is the illegal occupation of a 26-hectare space that was retroceded to the rightful owner by the Supreme Court. It was a happy ending after the inhabitants met again with the divisional officer on September 14, finding a lasting solution to their dispute on the 26 hectares of land from administrative authorities.
We
keep encouraging this procedure of peaceful settlement in this situation, which isn't supposed to go extra ways, especially here in DOUALA. Reason why I beg of you to continue in the same light. A proposal that the landowner approves as destruction and eviction will cause harm to both parties.
Je pense que les gens doivent appeler le géomètre.
I think we will call the surveyor to take measures of their plots of land, see if it follows the rules and regulations, and that we can be in one agreement on the price for those who will negotiate, and we will see how to agree as men.
I accept. I take the hand of Mr. Bissek for a peaceful settlement.
After the decision of the execution command, there were some concerns that were quickly addressed.
Some
people wanted to keep on with the court procedures for an already lost cause. Unfortunately, that which was introduced on the 12th of September turned out not being in their favor. Hence, they are supposed to be ousted. Reason why all has to be done in order to avoid that. With the case settled, the administrative authority, occupants and buyers are now on the same page.
The Cameroon Human Rights Commission and the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees are stepping up advocacy to urge the government ratify international treaties on the object of a convention between the two institutions signed on September 13, 2023. Take a listen to the President of the Human Rights Commission and the Deputy Representative of the High Commission to Cameroon.
Major axes of this Memorandum of Understanding between the Cameroon Human Rights Commission and the UNHCR is to allow the Commission to involve itself better in advocacy towards the government for the implementations of the recommendations made by international critics organ, and raise advocacy, to conduct advocacy towards the government to ratify some major international instruments for the protection of refugees, international displaced persons, asylum seekers, and other persons under the mandate of the UNHCR.
With this partnership, UNHCR will first share information, because UNHCR is receiving information on the violation and abuses and victims of this violation, and analysis, and then to reinforce all the advocacy to reinforce the respect of human rights.
The publisher delegate of the Post news paper, Yerima Kinisom, has decried the one-month sanction of the National Communication Council, but underlines that the paper has always respected state institutions and will fully respect the verdict of the National Communication Council. He equally reiterates that the Post newspaper is a partner in the development of the state and not an enemy. Let's get the details in this report reports by our reporter Aisencha.
The one-month sanction of the National Communication Council on the Post newspaper and its publisher delegate, Yerima Kinisom, has been described as too heavy for an article which was never published.
I'm disappointed because I feel that we have been punished for an article that we did not publish. The worst, like I've narrated to every other person who cares to listen, is that there was that article which was proposed, like in the normal newsroom, people were commenting about it, and we decided to withdraw it. It was not published. You can look at, this is the paper that was published on Monday. That article is not there. I want to emphasize, because there has been a lot of misinformation going on about how we have published an article advocating for a military coup. It is unacceptable. And journalists of the Post cannot be advocating for a military coup because they don't know if they were going to survive if there's a coup in this country.
The consequences on the bi-weekly English language newspaper during this suspension period are far-reaching.
On account of the fact that a newspaper like us, which is facing a lot of difficulties on account of the crisis in the Northwest, where the bulk of our readership is found, and where our advertisers, the bulk of advertisers are found, to be added a 1 month suspension is already a very big burden to bear.
Despite the heavy burden, the Post newspaper pledges to respect the ban.
With the sanctions, we are going to miss a lot, but we'll respect the sanctions. We'll respect the sanctions of the National Communication Council and wait for the 1 month and move on.
Yerima Kinisom reiterates that the paper will come back stronger, holding on to the ethics and deontology of the profession, as it has always done for close to 3 decades.
And we now talk sports. Cameroon's prolific goalkeeper Andre Onana has yet again been shortlisted for another award. The Manchester United keeper has been nominated for the 2023 FIFA Best Men's Goalkeeper Award as a result of his outstanding qualities. More with our reporter, Fru Williams.
Another award nomination for a prolific keeper, Andre Onana, is among a 5-man shortlist for the 2023 FIFA Best Men's Goalkeeper Award. He was nominated alongside Al Hilal's Yassine Bounou, Real Madrid's Thibaut Courtois, Manchester City's Ederson, and Marc-André ter Stegen of Barcelona. The 27-year-old has been shortlisted for his exploit last season with Inter Milan. Currently regarded as one of the best keepers so far, Andre Onana played 41 times for Inter Milan across all competitions last season, keeping a total of 19 clean sheets.